There you go.
Thank
Ooh,
you.
splash. So hey, I'm Ange, and today I'm chatting with Kat. And Kat used to be a student at Winchester Uni many years ago, and we were just chatting earlier, and 20 years ago
20
that you were a
years
student
ago,
in
yeah.
Winchester. And I was kind of doing student and 20s work back then, so we've got a bit of history and lots of memories, and we've had fun just reminiscing, I guess. But Kat, how would your friends and family describe you?
Chatty, I think would be the first word
Yep.
that comes to mind. Bubbly,
Yeah.
friendly, I hope.
Very friendly, always. And in your own words, what does it mean to be a Christian?
For me, it means never being on my own.
Yeah.
To have someone to celebrate with, to look after me in my lows, to hold my hand, to see my future, someone to trust, someone to open doors for me, that I can talk to and consult on every life decision that you could possibly ever make.
Yeah, so true. It's great. And is there somebody who you would say really influenced your life in terms of becoming a Christian or influenced your faith and your journey?
I think my best friend, Laura, she introduced me to the church and to God. So
And when did you meet Laura?
we were at university together. We just happened to be on the same course, teacher training. I changed my degree from English with teaching to RE with teaching, and she said, "Oh, come on an Alpha course with me. Come to the church and just find out a little bit more about God and what Christians believe." And I thought that would be a good kind of opportunity, like professional development sort of thing.
And I guess then you became a Christian off the back of kind of going onto the Alpha course and
it's like
asking these questions.
so it became so personal, such kind of like a personal relationship with God, as opposed to just learning about Christians and what they believe and Christmas and the Bible stories and stuff like that. It was I knew that God had a personal interest in me. He knew me. He wanted a relationship with me, so Alpha was kind of like a stepping stone towards that, really.
And I guess in life, and I obviously know you quite well, but you've had highs and lows. Can you maybe tell us about maybe one of the harder kind of experiences in your life?
So two scenarios kind of like spring to mind. The first was when we got married, we weren't able to have children.
Yeah.
So we needed quite a lot of medical help with that, and both my first two children are IVF, and I remember having to sit in the waiting room with Kevin next to me, literally waiting to go and have our embryos put in, and I just felt like God's presence, I felt his peace, I felt like Jesus was sat next to me, and I just felt him say that whether this worked, whether it didn't work, that he would still be my God, I would be okay, that he would hold my hand all the way through this, that he knew the outcome, and he knew that I would be okay, and if everything else fell away, that my feet would still be on the rock,
Yeah.
that I would still have faith in him. So it was about trust, really. And then the second time was Joe was 3 weeks old and he was really, really poorly, and we got rushed to A&E and then rushed up onto the children's ward, and I remember a nurse holding out her hands and saying, "You need to give me your baby," and I holding him thinking I might not see him again, so not wanting to give him over, but I just felt like God say, "I'm with him, hand him over, I will hold him and I will hold you." And I didn't have the words to pray, I didn't have the words to ask for help, but the church community stepped in for me. They stood with me, they prayed with me and for Joe, supported both me and my husband, and it was an incredible source of comfort. It was just, that is what church is, that is what faith is. It's having a community that will also hold you and support you.
Which is incredible, isn't it? Just knowing God's presence with you, but also knowing people just
Absolutely.
like faithfully walking that
Yeah.
journey with you. gosh, and I remember that as well. So what would your 15-year-old self say? They could see you now sat here having a cup of tea, being filmed, talking about your faith. What would your 15-year-old self say to you, do you think?
That it's all going to be okay, whatever you go through, the highs, the lows, decisions that you make. You might feel at the time that there is no way out of it, that you really are walking your darkest days, but actually God walks with you. He holds your hand with you through absolutely everything, that He has a plan for you, and a plan to prosper you and not to harm you, and and just to carry on walking and carry on trusting Him right until the end of the days.
Great, that's amazing. Thanks so much for chatting, Kat. A nice cup of tea.